Hi. You can probably tell that it's evening. I didn't really have time to do one earlier today, but I have the evening to myself, so I figured that it would be nice to do one in the evening. So I guess it would be kind of like a review of my day instead of prediction of my day. Not that tarot, I don't really believe that it can actually predict the future, but I believe all futures are possible, and reading the cards is a really intuitive exercise. I feel like it can make you more aware of the possibilities of what can happen, and it can warn you about things you might want to avoid. Remind you of the remind you of the dark side of something. And I actually set a 10-minute timer on myself, so I'll know when I'm having to stop. Okay. We got Ace of Pentacles. So pretty. And 10 of Wands. Let me go ahead and pull these. All of the Ace cards are about beginnings, and the Pentacles is the suit of Earth. I also kind of relate the suits to Myers-Briggs a little bit. In fact, all of the court cards I've come up with personality types for. I don't think all of them are 100% spot on. I feel like the Wands is a little bit off, but most of the rest of them I'm pretty happy with. I correspond Pentacles to Guardians, Cups to Idealists, Swords to Rationals, and I forgot what I'm looking for. Wands to Artisans. And what am I looking for? I should focus. There we go. Okay. I'm sure I will draw a court card for my daily reading at some point, in which case I'll talk more about them. In the Thoth deck, here's the Ace of Discs, which is what they call Pentacles. And in the Thoth deck, the Ten of Wands is called Oppression. So anyway, Pentacles has to do with earthly things, mundane, day-to-day matters. All the Ace cards are about beginnings, so it can be wealth, it can be home life, family. I'm going to go ahead and read the Ace of Pentacles in here. Prosperous beginnings. In the center of even the giant redwood trees, a tiny seedling once stood. Such is the energy of the Ace of Pentacles. It's the seed that takes root, grounding you for the future. You are in the beginning phases of a prosperous venture. Stay grounded, go outside, take time to appreciate nature. And then the Ten of Wands is about burdens, blockage, and difficulty, or as the Thoth deck says, oppression. It's about mental or physical burdens weighing on your spirit, which can lead to hopelessness and depression. You feel like you can't get through to what you want, and you can't see the way. I just think that's a beautiful way of depicting that. If this card comes up frequently, it indicates you are attracted to negativity. You choose to walk the hard road. That's really appropriate for me today because I've been doing a lot of soul searching and have found that there's a lot of heaviness that I am attached to. I've realized that I've been blocking my heart a lot and haven't really been keeping it open to love. And I'm afraid of trusting. And what that really comes down to is, like, I want to point that outwards and say I'm afraid of trusting people. But what that really comes down to is that I'm afraid of trusting myself. Because if I can trust myself, then it doesn't matter whether or not other people are trustworthy, because I wouldn't be relying on them. But if I don't trust myself, then the outside world is a lot scarier, because what can I rely on if I can't rely on myself? So I really feel like that's the dark part of what I've been facing today. The Ace of Pentacles, it's just a beautiful card, and I like thinking about beginnings of things. There's nothing specifically in my material world right now that is beginning. Other than I feel like I'm really, unless I'm thinking about my own roots and starting over from the ground up in my own healing. So yeah. I have about 3 minutes left. So I'm going to do the sacred geometry cards. Just a quick shuffle. Divine Doorway and June Companions. This is Divine Doorway. And I don't remember what that means off the top of my head. June Companions is full of butterflies and dragonflies, and those are all things that signify change. And it's like they're helpers to help you through transformation. I have a special love for this card because when I go to Whidbey Island, I see a lot of dragonflies and a lot of butterflies. And every time I look up what that means in, like, Animal Messenger, it's just like a really reassuring. I'm almost out of time. It's really reassuring. It makes me feel good. Divine Doorway is about inner vision. So basically, look inside and meet with the divine. And then my Cards Against Humanity is tentacle porn. I don't want that today. Well, I have a minute left. So we got beginnings and frustrations, a reminder to look for my inner divinity, and transformation, and tentacle porn. So I think that's all I will say. Thanks for watching. It's the hardest time turning this off.